I'm Bob Hasegawa, your state representative from the 11th Legislative District, and we're here in the rotunda of the Legislative Building, and actually we're here to attend a bill signing. A couple of my bills got passed, House Bill 1166 and 1167, that work together. They are about increasing access to capital for women and minority-owned small businesses, so you'll see a little footage of that bill signing. But I want to tell you a little bit about what those bills do, because as I was working in the last interim before session started, talking with a lot of the women and minority-owned small businesses actually, we're trying to identify what some of the barriers they were facing to their businesses, and access to capital was a big one. So we crafted these two bills. One of them actually allows community development financial institutions to participate in what we call the linked deposit program. The second bill requires the Office of Women and Minority-Owned Small Businesses, or Business Enterprises, to work with the State Treasurer's Office, and it does a couple of things. It looks at the question of barriers to access to capital. But at this point in time, you know, we're all in this depressed time where access to capital and interest rates are very unpredictable, and in fact the interest rates right now are at such a low point that the linked deposit program wasn't working. So one of the key portions to 1167 changed the rule a little bit and gave the treasurer the authority to change the interest rate a little bit so that linked deposit program would actually be able to start up and loan money back to small businesses. So that's a very good thing. The governor concurred, so she signed the bills. Also wanted to mention to you briefly that you know, there had been some talk about having a special session because we did not finish all of the business that some people wanted us to have accomplished by sine die. Sine die is the Latin phrase for the ending of session. My opinion is that it's a good thing that we're not having a special session. I think that had we been called back in, it would have only been bad news for property-poor school districts who rely on levy equalization for some additional funding so that their funding levels don't drop so far below the wealthy property districts that there's a disparity in access to that education. So we're trying to avoid having to give up levy equalization, and by not having a special session, I think we've accomplished that. The other bill that they wanted us to deal with had to do with deportation of certain undocumented detainees in our prisons, the nonviolent offenders, so to speak. Although by doing so, there were not safeguards in the process to allow for due process appeals and to allow for mitigating circumstances. So I think it's a good thing that we actually did not take that bill up as well. So it's a good thing that we're not going into special session, is my main point. And by not doing so, we're maintaining equity and educational access, but we're also saving taxpayers' money, because it would have cost us over $18,000 a day to come down here for special session. So we're doing everything we can to deal with the financial crisis in our state. And I think that we've done a fairly decent job on the budget side, although I think that we have a lot of room to improve on the revenue side. I'll talk with you more about that in the future, but for now, my name is Bob Hasegawa, your state representative from the 11th District. Thanks for watching.